I've always been both amazed and puzzled and very much humbled by the ability of the Sheres HaPleita to move on after the Holocaust, somehow finding the possibility, let alone the determination, to continue forward, to continue living, to continue building once again. Where did that emunah come from? What was the source of that ability, that resolution to move forward no matter how horrific the conditions that had transpired were beforehand? And the answer, I believe, is in this week's Seder of Beraishis. We find that after Adam and Chava are punished, having eaten from the Eitz Hadas, and they are banished from Gan Eden, the Pasuk tells us, V'ha'adam yada es Chava ishto, that Adam knew, Adam had relations with Chava, his wife, producing Kayim, and thereafter Heva. And even though Chazal tell us that this actually occurred prior to having been banished from the Garden of Eden, the Psukim present us Va'adam yada es Chava ishto first afterwards, as if to tell us that the antidote to the horrific falling that Adam and Chava had experienced, having negated this singular tzivei Hashem command of HaKadosh Baruch Hu not to eat from the tree of knowledge, was in fact in the creation of life anew. And as the Seder continues, we are told that after Cain commits fratricide, having killed his brother Hevel, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu informs Cain that he's going to be a Novanad Ba'aretz, he will never have a place in the world that he will be able to feel that he is at home in a permanent sense. The Pasuk tells us, Vayetze Cain melifnei Adonai, Vayeshi be'eretz no kidmas Eden. Cain went to that very same place to which Adam had been banished, following having eaten from the Eitz Hadas. And then the Pasuk tells us immediately, Vayeda Cain ishto, that Cain as well knew that he lived with his wife. Vatahar vatelet es Chanoch, she became pregnant, and she gave birth to Chanoch, to a child. Vahi bona ir, and he was able to build a city. Vayikra Shem Ha'ir, and Cain entitled that city Keshem Beno Chanoch, by the name of his son Chanoch. And Chanoch, of course, is related to chinuch, to education. As the Pasuk is clearly, effectively telling us that after Cain understood that he was finished, that he would have no future, that nowhere would he be able to find himself in the presence of other individuals who would want to live in the same neighborhood, he decided to have a child, to build anew, and to be mechanech that child, hopefully in a way that life would have meaning once again, and that his life would take on a greater meaning and a greater sense of continuity. And the third time in this week's Seder of Beraishis, when Cain is ultimately removed from the planet Earth, and he's killed by his antecedent Lemech, albeit by accident, and then the Shei Lemech and the wives of Lemech don't even want to live with him anymore afterwards. And Lemech goes to complain to Adam, and Adam turns to his wives and he says to them effectively, what is done, and it was to no fault of Lemech. He was blind, it was unintended. You have to continue living with him, to continue life. And immediately the Pasuk tells us, Vayeda Adam od es ishto, that indeed Adam once again lived with Chava. Vatelet beinin, she gave birth to a son. Vatikra es shemo Sheis, and that son's name was Sheis. That son became the foundation, the new foundation of life itself, from which everyone in the world ultimately devolved. Where did the Sheres HaPleita gain its strength, its emunah, its resilience from? From the Torah HaKadosha, from Adam and Cain, and Adam once again. Because when life shows us the cruelest, most heinous, most unimaginable of circumstances, we respond with life anew, by having children once again, by being mechanech them, by educating them in a fashion that we could once again claim our proper positions as Ovdei Hashem, as servants of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And after the Yemei Hadin are concluded, as they just finished by Hoshana Rabbah, and we emerge, and after Simchas Torah, having read Zos HaBracha, begin reading Beraishis once again, we effectively are saying to ourselves, and the Kodesh Baruch Hu is effectively saying to us, the year past is the year past, and we have made all of our bakashos and requests and supplications to HaKadosh Baruch Hu for life anew and another chance at getting it right. And the Parsha and the Sedra tells us, start anew. Be mechanech your children in an even better fashion, and you'll be able to return to the privy, to the proximity of Hashem Yisparach, and feel His presence once again. Have a wonderful Shabbos as we begin this year of Tafshin Pei Beis, a wonderful year of good health, nachas, Yiddish nachas, in growth in Torah and Yiras Shamayim, in fraternity and happiness for the sweetest of years that we can possibly experience.